Alrighty, so in this little sound experiment I'm doing, I'm trying to see if these little matte things, sound deadening material actually does anything. And then also I'm going to be installing a radio in the car. But anyway, we'll get to that later. Right now, I actually want to see if this, or how loud the car is when I'm just cruising. So right now I'm sitting at 60 miles an hour. I'll try to get it to, there we go. So this is the sound, or this is how loud the car is when I'm cruising at about 60 miles an hour. We're right at 86 decibels. I don't even know if you guys can hear me right now. But anyway, we're sitting at right about 86 decibels. And my whole goal is to install this stuff and see if we can get the car sounding a little bit quieter. So I'm gonna get back to the garage and then we're gonna install this stuff and then come back out and see if it's actually quieter. Made it back to the garage. Hopefully you guys can hear me in that last clip. Right around 86 decibels, 60 miles an hour, 1800 RPM. 86 decibels isn't too loud. It is considered a loud noise, but it's not like a firework going off in your ear. You're not going to go deaf by it. But the average car is right around 70 decibels. So about 16 decibels higher than the average car. And that's why I got this sound deadening material I showed in the last clip. This is not the cheapest option on Amazon, but it was probably the second cheapest. And the reason why I went with this instead of the Amazon Basic, this one actually showed the thickness of the material. This is 80 millimeters thick. The Amazon Basic sound deadening material did not show how thick it was. So I wasn't going to risk purchasing it and then it come in and be super thin and then not even be worth putting into the car. But this was $23 for this. It's 9.2 square feet or something like that. Just under 10 square feet of material. And that's also what the Amazon Basic sound deadening material was. But anyway, I went with this because it actually showed the thickness. Like I also mentioned in the last clip, I got an entire radio and speakers to install in the car to go along with the sound deadening material. And the biggest reason why I got this radio and speaker setup is for the radio itself. It's a Bluetooth radio. It's nothing special. It was 37 bucks. It was one of the cheapest ones I could find on Amazon. But the reason why I got it was because it's Bluetooth. I pay for ad-free music for my phone, so I'm not going to listen to the radio. I'm not going to listen to the radio with a bunch of ads that constantly run and music that I probably won't even listen to or don't want to listen to, I should say. So that's why I got it. Got the radio with Bluetooth, 37 bucks. And then I also got, obviously, the bezel, or what do you call this? Yeah, I guess you could call it a bezel. Single-din bezel with a little pocket to hold some stuff. This came as a package deal right here. I think this also was $37. It's got the wiring harness for the car to hook up to the radio, and then the removing tools for the original radio. Moving on to the speakers, I'm going with a theme here of cheap. These are also some of the cheapest speakers I could find on Amazon, which is still going to be better than the original speakers that are in the car. The reason why I got new speakers is because these guys, well, not this one, not the new ones, but the ones that are in the car, the ones that are back here, one of them is blown out, and when it plays music, it sounds like a piece of paper flapping in the wind. It's the best way I can describe it. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, so that is why I got new speakers. These are 6x8-inch speakers. I originally got 6x9-inch speakers, and those did not fit. These ones are the ones that actually go in the back. But these ones were, I think, $34. $37. I think those were $34. Same with these ones. These are just 6-inch that are going to go in the door. Then these smaller ones, $25. So all in, I think it's right under, or maybe it might be right over $200 for all this stuff. So for $200, I don't think this is going to be a bad deal to get the car a little bit quieter and, well, I should say, get the interior a little bit quieter while driving, and then get some better music flowing through the speakers. So I'm going to go ahead and start removing pretty much all of the interior. At least seats, center console, and carpet. I'll also, well, I've already started removing the door panels. I'll get those removed so I can put some of that sound deadening in the doors. But before I do that, I should mention this sound deadening, what it's really doing is preventing resonating noise, whether that be the exhaust or road noise, from resonating in the car or echoing in the car. So when I put this in, it's just going to essentially make the car less echoey. So, or the interior less echoey. So, which I guess in turn makes it quieter. So,
it's science.
Anyway, enough rambling. Let's get started on tearing this interior out. The interior is out now. As you can see, I still got the carpet in. I was going to pull it out, but I got to get all of that stuff out, and I don't really feel like figuring out what's all up in there. I think it might just be this bracket that I need to pull out, and the rest may just come out. Not really sure, but I think I'll be able to just pull it up. Yeah. And then just get in there and put the sound deadening down. Sound deadening. Deadening? I don't know how to say that. The sound mat down. But yeah, as you can see, there is like a factory kind of sound deadening that they put in here. It's just peeling off, so it's actually kind of satisfying. But yeah, they've got some in, but most of the floor is just metal. And I mean, you can hear the tinny, echoey sound from the bare metal. Once the sound deadening gets on there, it'll definitely quiet down all of that noise. I also need to, looks like I need to vacuum up quite a bit in there. And then I need to tidy up some of these wires. Well, all of these wires. I'm going to pull these panels off too. I just got to figure out where the screws are. There's definitely one here, but these are like one giant panel, so I might end up just bending them forward as much as I can so I can get over to these fender wells and then put some sound deadening on there. So there is some of this material, which probably isn't doing a whole lot. It might be doing some, but I'm definitely gonna get some of that sound deadening, especially back here. I think this is probably where most of the echoing is going on, is back here in the hatch. So I think I'll probably even put some up in here. As far as the doors go, I forgot to mention this earlier, There is the inner structure to the door here, and then there is some flat area where I'll probably be able to put some. Well, I'll definitely be able to put some in there, but it'll just be in like smaller strips. Not really sure how or the coverage you need for a certain amount of area of this deadening material, but I would imagine if you put a little bit, well, I imagine you wouldn't need a whole lot to get that deadening effect, if that makes sense. You don't need to use a whole sheet, or you don't need to cover every square inch, I guess is what I'm saying. As long as there's a lot of coverage on the panel itself that you're putting it on, you should be okay. Don't quote me on that, but honestly, that's probably what I'm going to do. I do have 10 square feet. I don't know how many square feet a Foxbody is, but I would imagine there's probably not enough material here to cover pretty much every square inch of the car. So, yeah, I'm going to do some cleaning up. I'm going to try to peel off as much as this original stuff. Seems like it'll come up on its own pretty easy. Yeah. So I'll get up as much as I can of that. Or maybe I should leave it. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it is actually doing something, but I don't know. I'll probably just end up peeling it, putting down the new stuff. So anyway, let's get some cleaning done. I got all of the sound deadening out. Well, pretty much all of it. I'll get to that in a second, but it's just all back here. I put it all into the spare tire well here, but anywhere where there was gray is where that sound deadening material was. I ended up removing some more stuff like the back of the seats here. I don't know what you would call these parts, but unbolted those because this stuff went over the, I guess, the shelf right here. I don't know what to call it, but and then into the bottom of the rear seats right here. So it just continued on. So that's why I removed that. As you can see, this is the only area I got the driver's side, passenger side. I'm going to show you that in a second, but I got it all removed besides this one. For whatever reason, they used the good glue on this one spot and it's sticking and it's not coming up. And that's okay. I think I'll just end up leaving it and I'll put that new sound deadening over it. I don't think that'll be an issue at all. And if it is, it's just that one area. I'm not super concerned about it. But all the other areas that it was coming up, it came up pretty easy. I know with a lot of other cars, when people go to remove the factory sound deadening, they have to get dry ice and freeze it and then hammer it and chisel it and all this stuff. This stuff came up pretty easy, so I was pretty lucky. I don't know if all Foxbodies are like that, if it's a common thing for the Foxbodies to be this easy to take that stuff up, but I will consider myself lucky because it was pretty easy. But unfortunately, from removing this, I found some hidden rust. So, well, I'll just show you guys. It's all right here in the driver's side, or passenger side. It was all underneath this stuff, and then mostly underneath this. And I don't know why this was right here. I'm not sure what exactly this is or why it's there, but either the heater core was leaking or just from getting in and out, the passenger getting in and out and their feet being wet. This soaked up the water, I guess, and caused the passenger side here to rust. Literally the only rust on the vehicle. Actually, there's one more spot here, but luckily it's all surface rust. There's no holes. It's all really solid still. So I'll have to scuff that up. And then I just have some like generic, where is it? It's up there somewhere. It's just some rust transformer preventer stuff. So um, I'll grind all that down and then spray some of that rust transformer and it'll be okay. So yeah, let me show you the driver's side here. Nothing too crazy. No rust in here. So yeah, unfortunately I took out the whole center console, which I don't think I needed to do. All of these parts right here, probably didn't need to now that I'm looking at it, but I don't know. I'm going to continue on with something. I don't know what I'm gonna do because it's like midnight or something. I work the graveyard shift, so this is the time I'm normally up anyway, but nobody else is up, so it's kind of awkward if I start banging on stuff and people come over to my house and they're like, "Hey, man, it's midnight. Could you stop?" Anyway, so I got to find something to do quiet. I'll probably, I'll probably just start installing the speakers there. Yeah. It's the next day, and well, I didn't realize that I didn't get any connectors for the speaker wire, so it was too late in the night, obviously, to go get some. So today I went out and got some of those connectors so I can do the speakers, but I went ahead and kept moving on with the prep work for the sound deadening mats. So I went ahead and sprayed some, well, first vacuumed everything out, then sprayed some Simple Green to help pull up some of that dirt when I go to clean them off. You definitely want the cleanest surface possible before sticking on those mats so that you have the best chance of sticking. I did the same thing back here. The OEM sound deadening material was like, it must have been like some sort of tar-based sound deadening, and it left all this residue only in the back here. So I went ahead, again, sprayed all of the hatch back here, the trunk area. I also wire wheeled all of the rust back here in the trunk area, and then as well as the passenger front up here. So everything's been soaking for a good minute now, so I'm going to go ahead, wipe everything up, and then start installing the actual sound deadening mat. So here we go. And just like that, I got the whole car cleaned up. Got all the dirt and grime out. Looks pretty good. I even got into the doors for when we put the sound deadening mat in there. And then passenger side back here too. So now that that's all taken care of, before we throw on the sound deadening material, I mentioned earlier I got some of that rust converter stuff. This is rust tough enamel, eliminates rust, ultimate corrosion protection. The directions for this just says take as much rust off as you possibly can with a wire wheel, then clean with household cleaner, and then lay it down, wait 30 minutes before you put a top coat on it. But since it's in the interior of the car, I'm just going to put the rust tough paint in the areas that there's rust, and then not paint over. I'm not too worried about because the sound deadening material, the mat, is going to go over it anyway. So there's not really much to applying this stuff. It's really just shake it up and then put it on. we got the paint all laid down there, as you saw. Got it all in the rust areas, and now we wait 30 minutes for this stuff to dry. And while we wait, we're actually going to do a little side project, and that is fixing these sagging doors. This will also help with the road noise, wind noise that is coming through these doors, because they're not properly sealing. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's see if you guys can see that, hopefully. But I'm moving the whole entire door up and down because the door hinge pins here, it's actually on this door in particular, it already has been replaced, but they are already worn out. So I've got this little kit here that comes with new pins and some new bushings to fix that play in the door and then properly seal this door to the body. So we can also add that to the list of things that will help eliminate road noise, along with this sound deadening mat that I'm installing, and we should get a little bit quieter of a car. I also got this little door, I don't even know what you call it, door hinge roller, and that just goes right here. I don't think they've ever been replaced. These were like $5 or something. So went ahead and got them for both sides. I'm gonna go ahead and do this door here, show you guys, bring you along, and then by that time it'll be ready to install this mat. Before I set you guys down, like I mentioned, this door has already had this done, but if you go to the driver's side over here, it hasn't been done yet, and I just want to be upfront. You will have to drill it out. The pin is kind of riveted in there, so there is a rivet up here you'll have to drill out, and then same thing right here. Should be able to drill that out, and then the pin will drop down. So other than that, should be the same process installing these, but removing them, this side is going to be a little different. All right, got both, well, hang on. Got both those bushings out of the bottom one, bottom hinge here at least. And then got that roller pin out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the reverse of removal and install it. Well, maybe I'll get this top one out real quick and then do that. Alrighty, got the new pin here, and the bushings that are on it were just like this from the sender of whoever makes this, who is this, Daniel Carpenter Mustangs. So I'm gonna assume that these bushings go in just like so. Now that that's in, we can throw this bottom bushing into the door here. Well, shoot. Oh, this is gonna be a balancing act. I'm gonna have to get the top one in right about the same time. All right, there you had it. Had a little bit of a struggle getting the pins in, but they're both in, top and bottom. I did have to use my big pliers here, and I had to push down on the outer, whatever you call it, hinge, the body side hinge on both of these guys to compress them enough so I could get the cotter key through the hole on the pin. But ow, screw in the knee. But now that it's all together, there's like absolutely no play in this door anymore. So oh yeah, way much gooder. So I showed you guys down here where the door's been hitting the frame there, or the body. And now that those pins are in, very clear difference. So that's good. The door feels much more solid. And all in all, wasn't that hard to install. So yeah, I'm gonna do, well, it's probably too late to do the other side, but the other side is pretty much the same thing. You're just gonna have to drill out the original pins if you got them, with that rivet head at the top. It should be the same process as these ones, you just don't have a cotter key. But pretty easy, pretty straightforward. I don't know, it probably took me like 30 minutes because of those pins, or the cotter keys, getting them through the hole in the pins. The best piece of advice I have for that is make sure you have the hole actually lined up to where you can get the cotter key into the hole. This top one, I had the hole actually pointing like pretty much at the door this way, so I had to push it back out, rotate it. But not a huge deal, just something I'll have to remember for the other side. But anyway, the rust conversion paint is all dried up now, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and start installing that deadening mat. So here we go. I got all of the mats laid out here. I got 2 in the front, 2 in the back. I got 2 back here. And then I've got 2 and then 1. So as you can see, I am not able to cover all the area that I want. The entire trunk is still open, for the most part. Yeah, one box of these, the 9, just under 10 square feet of this sound deadening mat isn't going to cut it. Not to mention, I still need some for the doors. So honestly, what is that? I'd say 2 a piece for the door. So that's 4 pieces you need. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you need 11 more pieces. And this only came with 9 pieces now that I'm thinking about it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So if you need 11 more pieces, well, 12, 13, probably 13 more pieces, because I wanted to get some up on the fender well there on both sides. So 13 pieces. They come with 9, so you're looking at another 2 packs, so 3 packs total to do a Fox. Oh, and this up here, so I don't know, 13, 14. So yeah, either way, 3 packs total to do a Foxbody if you get this Stick Bond brand from Amazon. That kind of blows the whole cheap part out of the water. I was really hoping I was going to get away with doing one. I don't know why I thought I could get away with doing one, but 1 pack, that is. But it is what it is. I'll make do with what I have right now. I'll just have to get more, or I'll order some tomorrow or tonight. Hopefully it'll be in by Monday, and then I should be able to wrap this all up. But now the question is, what do I want to actually put down right now? I guess it really doesn't matter if I'm not going to be driving the car, but the easiest thing to get to is the rear here. So I think I will start in the front. That way I can get the interior back together, and then that just leaves the trunk, the rear seats. Yeah, because I only have 9 pieces. I'll be short 1 piece. So the rear seats, I'll have to, well, at least one I'll have to do, trunk and the doors. But at least if I can get everything under the carpet done, I can throw all the interior back in. So I guess it's all just a mind game of how much progress I want to show, or how much progress I want to feel like I made. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the passenger and driver floors and then move on from there. So here we go. Okay. Alrighty, I've gotten all of the sound deadening material that I had on hand installed. I still need to finish off one more piece in this passenger rear footwell, and then obviously up the edge here into the back seats on both sides, both back seats and the entire trunk area still. As you can see also, I've already installed some of the interior because, well, I didn't need it out anymore and I wanted to feel like I made some progress. So I got the driver's seat installed here and the center console. I actually ended up removing some parts because, well, that shifter linkage, not shifter linkage, the button on the shifter itself is worn out, so I can't get it in and out of gear using this shift knob. So this is worn out on the inside. You probably can't see in there. There is a hole in there where the button on the other end here, this guy sits into, and when you push it, it goes up a little ramp, causing this button to push down. I can't do it right now because I don't have the keys in. And that's going to move this little lever down, and that's how you get in and out of gear with these AOD transmissions. So I've got a new one on order and a new little shift indicator thing. But anyway, not important. What is important is I got that center console in, and now we are ready to install the radio. As far as radio installs go, this is as simple as it gets. Starting off with the wiring, you got the wiring for the radio here, and then you're gonna have to get some sort of aftermarket wiring harness that goes to the OEM wiring harness in the car. And what makes this so simple is that all of the wires on this wiring harness will match up exactly with the wires on this wiring harness, the colors at least. So when putting this together, you'll have to read whatever wiring harness you got, verify what colors go to what with the wiring harness, and then with the radio wiring harness, you're gonna have to do the same thing, verify what wires go to what colors associate with what. In this case, it just so happens that these wires and these wires match up, so I really don't have to think that hard or read anything. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. I'm gonna get all these wires connected, and then we can actually physically install the radio. All right, there we have it, the two wiring harnesses we need. Now we can go ahead and install this guy. Alrighty. Before we actually install the radio, we need to install this bezel. Before that, I do that, I need to install this, whatever it's called. I don't know what you'd call it. The actual mount the radio goes into. There's a bunch of tabs up here that you're gonna bend up to depending on which ones you need. I'll just do these guys right here. Okay, so now that's pretty secure in there. I don't think I'll be able to, I might be able to. Not gonna really. These bottom ones are so close to the little shelf in here. I can only bend them so much, but it's in there. The bottom's a little loose, but top's pretty tight. Go ahead and throw these factory harnesses through the little slot in the antenna. And there. This bezel came with 4 screws to install it. There is no pre-drilled holes or holes that already exist from the factory, so if you don't want to drill into your center console, then this might not be for you. But I'm gonna drill into mine because I don't really care. Eventually, when I redo the entire interior, they have a kit where you can actually move the HVAC controls down to where this little pocket is, and then you can have a double den or just have this single den moved up. That way it's in a more, I think, more ergonomical place. And then also if you had a actual screen and you wanted to use like Apple CarPlay or something, you would actually be able to see it instead of being hidden behind the shifter. So anyway, that's down the road. Okay, there we have it. Let me grab the wiring harness and radio. Alrighty. You can't mix them up. The antenna. All of this can get shoved back in there. Maybe. So that's it. It's installed, ready to go. I would show you guys it working, but I don't have any speakers in. So that's exactly what I'm going to do next. Install the speakers, and then we can test this radio out. Alrighty, speakers. This is the 6-inch speaker that's going to be going in the door. Got the other two up there, little, I don't know what that is, 3-inch or 2.5-inch or something. That's going to be going up here. And then finally that 6x8 speaker is going to go in the back there. It's pretty much the same process for all of these. These front ones are going to be a little different. All the other ones should line up or fit into their spots pretty much perfectly. But I'm going to show you with this one. This one almost fits perfectly, but it's just slightly too big. The I don't know what you would call it. This ramp part of it is just too big, and it doesn't sit flush against the door there. So what I got here is a little flare tool that I actually got from when I installed a hydro boost system on my car. This is a Coyote swapped Foxbody. And I had to use this to flare out the firewall where the new hydro pump or hydro boost unit went. But anyway, all it does is you can flare inward or outward with it. And I need to go inward to make this hole a little bit wider. So all you do, put it on the edge there, and then just go around and then push in just a little bit. You don't have to go too crazy. And that's going to flare that whole, I guess, I don't know what you call it, diameter out, circle out. Anyway, I'm going to finish that up here in a minute, but I got all of those connectors that I needed. The reason why I couldn't do it the other night, these guys, but I just had an idea of just pulling this connector out. So there's a little tab that holds them in. I should be able to push on that and pull on, yeah, the wire, and it'll just come out. So I'm gonna check live with you guys and see if these will actually fit. Maybe. There we go. See if these actually fit onto the speaker here. And they do. So, almost. One of these posts is bigger. So I will have to end up cutting whichever the positive wire to fit a, dang it, every time, I swear. Anyway, I'll have to put one of these on to the wire so it can be bigger. Actually, that's too small. Okay, and I got two different sizes because I knew I was gonna need them. Let's make sure this one fits. Yeah, so, well, I got away with one, so that's at least cool. I'm okay with that. Anyway, I'm gonna get to it, get all these speakers installed, and then test this radio out. I've got all of the speakers in now, the back, the front, and the doors. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. The doors are not officially installed. They are working, but they're not installed. That's because I'm going to actually be using these little surrounds, the speaker covers in the door panel, just because these ones aren't in the best shape and honestly they just don't look that good. So these will actually cover up the hole, and I'm going to use them to install the door speakers. One other thing that I didn't know I had to do when installing a radio, at least in this Foxbody Mustang, this has the premium sound equalizer radio, this guy here. So I don't know if every car or every Mustang has the amp, but this one did. If you have the amp, you do need to remove it so you can actually get sound out of the speakers with the new head unit. The head unit won't work with the amp. It was pretty easy to take out. You do need to have the center console out to take this out. It is just 2 screws right here in the front. It'll be sitting under the dash behind the center console. You just take the screws out here and here, and then there's 2 plugs you need to unplug. They're just like these ones, but they're up top. You're gonna have to dig around for them. Once you get those out, you can take the whole thing out and you don't need it anymore. And then those plugs that are left in the car that look like these, those are the ones you're going to hook your new wiring harness up to. So now that that is all done, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how it sounds. I already got the Bluetooth hooked up and the radio works. So I'm just gonna show you just how cheap can you coyote swap your Foxbody? Stay tuned to find out. Alrighty, there we go. You can kind of hear some music. This is just one of my other videos that I made. There is wind noise in the video. Those aren't the speakers cutting in and out, but yeah, it doesn't sound too bad. This is a pretty cheap head unit, and then the speakers are fairly cheap too. Well, they are cheap. They're like 30 bucks each. So one other thing with this radio is when I initially installed it, I had all of the new speakers in, and I couldn't get sound out of them for some reason, but I could hook the old speakers back up and it would play sound. So I tried troubleshooting it and I just couldn't figure it out. So I ended up just going inside for the night, and then I came back out the next day, turned it on, and it started working. So I don't know if there was like a initialization period. I don't know if that's a word. I think I just made it up for this radio, but it just started working. So I don't know 100% what happened. I initially thought that maybe the speakers were pulling too much power and the head unit just couldn't keep up. I don't know how speakers work, but I know you need power to obviously use them, and the wattage on them can be too much for the head unit or stock radio that you're using. So you need to get an amplifier, but that's what I thought it was happening. I thought I was going to have to get an amp to power these speakers, but they just started working. So I'm not 100% sure what happened. What I was getting at over here is the little speakers are 140 watts. The door speakers are 300 watts, and then the rear speakers are 200 watts. The rear speakers are 2-way, the dash speakers are 2-way, and then the door speakers are 3-way. Not 100% sure. I mean, I know those like 3-way, 2-way, whatever, I know they pull more power. Obviously, the wattage is more, but a combination of all those put together, I don't know how much actual watts it's the head unit or the speakers together are pulling from the head unit. I don't know all that. There's way better channels that can, or there's better channels that can explain it way better than I can. But it's working now, so I did something right. But anyway, enough with the speakers and the stereo. We finally got the rest of the sound deadening material in. I ended up getting 3 more boxes just because I didn't want to run out again if it came down to it. I really think I can get away with just using 2 more boxes. That's 18 pieces. That's 18 square feet more. So I'm going to go ahead, install all that, and then put the interior back together and then drive it and see how much of a difference all that sound deadening material made. If this 3 days or 4 days of work, whatever I'm at, is worth it. And then yeah, that'll be the end of the experiment. So let's get started. got all of the, I guess, passenger side all done. All the way from the back here, all the way to the passenger front. I got a bunch of little pieces over here. This kind of looks goofy, but it is actually doing something. I mean, you can kind of hear it. Probably not, but I don't know if the camera can actually pick up on the sound difference. But it is actually doing something. Those pieces kind of look goofy, but they serve a purpose. I also got the fender, what I could at least anyway. And then I tried to get into that little hole right there. It's kind of dark, but that's just the other side of the fender. Or wheel well, not fender. And I don't know if it'll stick. It was pretty dirty back there. I tried to clean it the best I could. But yeah, we're all wrapped up over here. I might actually use one more piece. Well, I should say that's all the pieces I have left is one piece, wherever I put it, right here. That's the last piece I got out of that second box. So I might end up putting some more pieces where there's some empty spots where I didn't fill it up, but we'll see. I know I said before that I think 2 more boxes should be enough, and I do think I think it will be, honestly. If I don't put this last piece from the second box into those empty spots over in the passenger side, I think that'll give me enough to do the spare tire well there. But I also only need to do 2 pieces over here instead of 3 or 4 pieces. I can't remember what I did over there. I think I put 2 more pieces over there. But yeah, so I think 3 boxes should be enough to do the whole entire car. Not going to cover every square inch, but it'll be enough to actually make a difference, I think. So, but I did get a 3rd box, so I might just end up using that 3rd box wherever I need it. It's always nice to have a little extra. It's not going to hurt anything if I put more down. Oh, I forgot about this. I still need to do this. So that's probably going to eat into that 3rd box there. So 3 boxes, 2.5, or yeah, I guess 4 boxes actually at this point. Yeah, 4 boxes total, which isn't as budget as I originally thought it was going to be. I originally only bought 1 box at 23 bucks a box. So I don't know what I'm up to. 23 times 4, that's $100 in this sound deadening material. So not as budget friendly as I thought it was going to be, but I think it'll be worth it in the end. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the driver rear into the trunk, the fender, or the wheel well here, the spare tire well, and the trunk. Probably not going to show you guys because it's really boring. So I'll just tune you guys back in once I'm done. Okay, I got all of the sound deadening in. Looks a little janky. I started running out of sound deadening. I know I've explained this like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times now, but yeah, you need like 4 or 5 of these boxes, probably 5, honestly. It got a little scarce right there at the end. I was just doing little pieces of what I had left over, but it's still going to do the job. I've mentioned before, you don't have to cover every square inch of the panel that you're covering. If you put some on there, it'll cover up, or it'll deaden that echoing or whatever noise coming through it for the most part. So I got the doors done also. I forgot to mention that earlier, that I needed to do these. I was going to put them on the inside of the door, on, I guess, the inside of the outer skin of the door. But I put 1 piece in. I did definitely want to put it at least a piece behind the speaker here, but even that 1 piece was super hard to roll out and get smooth in there. So instead of trying to get into all of these little holes here with the roller, I just put it on the inside of the door, so it'll be fine just like that. It still has that same effect. I would have liked to put it on the inside, but it is what it is. I'm not super worried about it. Again, same with the driver's side here, and then I've got that one piece in the speaker hole. So yeah, I'm gonna throw this interior all back together and then let's go drive it. All right, I got the interior all back together. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out onto the highway and then get up to 60 miles an hour and 1800 RPM and then see what the decibels are. So here we go. Well, there you go. It's about 5 decibels quieter in here. Not the not disappointed. Not disappointed. I thought it was going to be a little bit more than that, but that's still pretty good. 5 decibels, I feel like that's pretty decent. All right, let's head back to the garage and then talk about it there. Back in the garage and just took the car out for the drive. And 6 decibels, that's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I thought maybe it was gonna be a little bit more, but 6 decibel, not bad. I don't know how accurate this thing is anyway, but I did do the test at the same mile per hour and RPM, so it should be relatively close as far as results go. But yeah, 6 decibels, it definitely made it quieter. Is 6 decibels noticeable enough to make it worth the, well, just under $200? $100 in sound deadening? Maybe. Maybe. I think it was probably worth it. One thing I also got to think about is the way I have my transmission tuned right now. This is a Coyote Swap 10R80 Foxbody. The way I have it set up right now, the transmission is it's in sport mode all the time. So no matter, well, I shouldn't say no matter what, but when I'm at 60 miles per hour, it doesn't go past, I think it's 7th or 8th gear. So I have 2 more gears after, 2 to 3 more gears after 60 miles an hour, I guess, if that makes sense. No, that doesn't make any sense. Essentially, the RPMs can drop more if I don't have it in sport mode, but it's not stuck in sport mode, but it's constantly in it. That's the way I have it set up for now. Eventually, I'm gonna get a tune for it, and then something that I'm able to switch different modes. I'll have to figure that out eventually, but the RPMs will drop once I'm able to get into that 10th, 8th, 9th, 10th gear. So that'll make the car a little bit quieter too. I don't think much, honestly. I have my F-150, that's a 10R82, and when I'm at like 60 miles an hour, it's at like 1400 RPM, so another 400 RPM-ish. Maybe not even. I know it's well below 2000 RPM. Yeah, I think it is about 1400 RPM. Maybe a little bit less, but anyway, the 10R80s are pretty cool transmissions, but they're kind of weak. But anyway, yeah, that's the result. 6 decibels. It's pretty good if you ask me. Worth the $100. That's up to debate. But I think it was probably worth it. And then the stereo install, I drove the car last night to work, and it was good. The stereo's kind of weird. It's a cheap radio, obviously, but when I went to turn it up and down, it takes a lot of turning up and down to make a difference in sound. But other than that, works great. So can't complain. I enjoyed tearing the interior apart and putting all that sound editing in and the radio. So if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will catch you on the next one.